Welcome back to my channel. Sorry it's been so long since I've made another video. Listen, I have a treat in store for you today. Last year, I started all this by making a video about a company called FM World, right? And I remember at the time when I made this video thinking to myself how awful this company was, how I couldn't believe this was allowed to go on in the UK. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it based on the pure scam of it all, based on the pure, most obvious scam of it all. Shortly after that, I made videos about a company that's formerly known as Business Bombshells called Globe. Again, I could see what this was. I could see that it was a pyramid scheme. I could see this crap was never going to get bought by anybody. And I could just see how horrendous this was. But I can honestly sit here and say to you today, those companies have nothing, have absolutely nothing on this company. Nothing. In fact, this company, I would go as far as to say this company made those companies look freaking amazing. What a fantastic opportunity those companies look compared to this one. Yeah, I'm talking about a company called Kyani. And you're going to learn all about it. You are going to learn about this company and what an amazing opportunity it is. Because this is all you need to know. And I'm going to simplify it and I'm going to explain it to you in layman's terms, right? And if you still want to join this company, Kyani, after you've seen this video, it's on you. It really is on you. And this is no victim blaming here. I'm going to lay this out for you now. And if you want to watch this video and you want to choose to ignore it and join this company anyway, it really is going to be on you. Because there is no way on earth this company isn't a total and utter pyramid scheme. It's a pyramid scheme in every way a company can be a pyramid scheme. And guess what the best bit of it all is? It's had a class action lawsuit in 2017 for it being a pyramid scheme. So let's start by talking about the products, because that's the whole point of multi-level marketing, isn't it? That there's a product involved, a product that you can sell and you can earn commissions, that you can earn instant commissions off these products, can't you? And that's what separates an illegal pyramid scheme from a multi-level marketing company. They say, well, we're not a pyramid scheme. Pyramid schemes are illegal and we have products, so we're not a pyramid scheme. Right. Now, these products, of course, you've got to sell them. Not only have you got to sell them, but you've got to consume them yourself, haven't you? Because you've got to be a product of the product, of course. So what sort of products are they? Well, Kyani is a wellness and lifestyle company. So it's not makeup, it's not skincare like companies that a lot of you have come from. It's not perfume, it's none of this, right? It's wellness. Wellness. And they're essentially vitamins, protein shakes, meal replacements and snack bars, right? All filled with apparently amazing stuff. We'll see about that. I'm not going to go into massive detail about what these products contain because I probably will at a later date. I will touch on it a little bit on the most concerning one because it does really concern me. But let's go. So we have. And again, I will go into more detail about the vast array of products that are on a later date, but let's just start. And let's start with one product, and this product is called Sunset, and this is essentially a vitamin pill, vitamins and whatever. And inside there is contained omega-3, vitamin D, vitamin A and beta carotene, and vitamin E, right? All the things contained within these, you think, well, that's all right. What's wrong with that? That stuff's good for you, isn't it? Vitamins. You can't get enough vitamins in your diet, can you? No, of course not. You just can't, can you? Can't you? Well, we'll see. Every single vitamin that is contained in this can be bought from any supermarket, can be bought from Holland & Barrett, any health food store, can be bought off Amazon, the click of a fingers, for a mere fraction of the price. Do you know how much they want you to sell? A month's supply. It's 1 month's supply. It's 90 capsules, but you're supposed to take 3 a day. Do you know how much they want you to sell that for? Can I have a guess? Have you looked into this, potential reps? Have you looked into this? £43. £43 they want you to sell that for. Think anyone in your friends and family is going to want that for £43? Vitamins, omega-3, you can buy it anywhere. Any supermarket, Amazon, click of a finger. It's arrived the next day on Prime. Anything, and they want you to. You got to sell that for £43. Is that realistic? Because that's not even anywhere near. Is that realistic? There's another one, the Sunrise. Sunrise is another one. You're supposed to take that in the morning. Take Sunrise in the morning. They've got protein shake in there as well. All extortionately priced. All extortionately priced. But what they really want you to get, what they really want that you to they want you to get this every month, because you've got to take these, remember, right? Because you can't sell them unless you take them. What they really want you to get is the Triangle of Wellness. They want you to buy the Triangle of Wellness. What's the Triangle of Wellness? Well, the Triangle of Wellness. It's a Triangle of Wellness. Well, it's essentially vitamins, minerals, and crap. And do you know how much they want you to buy that for? All that? How much they want you to sell that for? £181 from 1 month. £181. Every single thing in there, every single vitamin, every single mineral, everything in there can be bought from 100 different places at the click of 1,000 different places at the click of a finger on the internet. Tesco, Sainsbury's, Holland and Barrett, fraction of the price. Fraction of the price. So who's going to buy it off you? Who's going to buy that off you? In fact, if you're thinking of joining this company because of you can make instant commissions, but listen, I know that you're not joining this company because you think you can make instant commissions off these products, right? But we're going to come to that. Because this is the fact that this is the MLM and it separates it. If you think anyone in your friends and family, anyone in your network is going to buy this stuff off you, ask them. Before you get involved with this company, ask your friends. Put a thing on Facebook, put a thing on Instagram, put a thing on any of your preferred social media, right? Explain what these products are. Go live about it. Just go live about it and say, hey guys, I'm doing some, it's called market research. I'm doing some market research from people in my network, and here's the product. There's this, there's a vitamins, and there's this, and there's omega-3. You explain what's in them all. Explain what it all is. Explain what it's good for, right? And you ask them, you say, would any of you buy this, right? And see what they say. Because I'm going to guarantee you something. Not one single person in your whole entire network is going to agree to buy that for £181. They're not going to agree to buy a month's supply of omega-3, A, E and D for £43. Nobody's going to do that. Not even rich people are going to do that. Because it's ridiculous when you can buy everything in there in anywhere else. But the best bit about the Sunset, do you know the best bit about the Sunset? It contains vitamin A and vitamin E. 2 vitamins, right? And I will put the links in the description for anyone. 2 vitamins which any doctor will tell you never ever supplement those vitamins unless you are actually advised to do so from a doctor. Because both of those vitamins can be found in abundance in not even the most healthiest foods, bread. You know, you can get vitamin E in bread, you know? You can actually overdose on vitamin A. Pregnant women should not take vitamin A. If you're pregnant and you want to get involved in this company, because, you know, what am I going to do? You know, no, you will never find a pregnancy vitamin with vitamin A in it, right? You don't touch it. Don't touch it with a barge pole, right? Because you can overdose on it. And this Sunset, they want to provide you with 100% of your daily allowance of that, the recommended daily intake. They want to provide you with 100%. So anything that you then consume in your food that contains vitamin A, which, as I said, it's in God knows how much stuff, right? You're going to be going over that. So you will be consuming more. Vitamin E is another one. Never supplement it, right? Trials have been conducted, right, where vitamin E can make you're more likely, right, to die of any other illness if you're taking high amounts of vitamin E, and they want to provide you with 1,008% of that. I mean, that's scratching the surface. As I say, I may go on to do another video explaining all of them, like I did with Business Bombshells, right? But for now, there's too much to go through. There's too much to go through. There's too much to go. There's too much I want to tell you about. Too much. So how much is it to join? So if you just want to join, you want to get in, be a distributor, it's £83. £83, you're in. Or, and this is, I'm going to go on to why, and if you've already joined this already, you will know that this is what's been said to you. You have the option of buying 2 packs, and they are as follows, like this. Again, I'm not going to go into massive amounts of detail about what's contained in these products because, as I've said before, it's generic crap that you can buy from anywhere else, right? But just depending on which packs you decide to go for, it's £200. £200 you straight in, because for that, you'll get 150 points. And you will automatically be considered a qualified distributor. You only actually need 100 points to become a qualified distributor. And to become a qualified distributor, because every month, you will need to buy the Triangle of Wellness, essentially. I mean, that's essentially what they're going to push on you, and that's going to be £181. So that's going to be just to not even make proper rank, just to be the qualified distributor. But if you're going to go in and you're going to buy that pack, and for that, you're gonna pay £200. £200, and your upline's gonna get £40 for that. So all the people that are being recruited, it's £40 to the uplines. It's then another £4 to that one and the ones above. Right? Four above, all get £4. See where this is going? Anyway, but the whole point is you make rank, isn't it? And the leaders want to help you make rank because they've told you they've told you this. This is what's going to be sold on. You're being told, right, that this amazing company, they're going to build for you. These leaders are going to build for you. You know, you're struggling to recruit. Struggle no more, because the leaders are going to build for you. We're going to come to that, right? We're going to come to that. In order for you to make the rank of Jade, right? And the reason I'm going to start at the rank of Jade is because I have an income disclosure statement, right? It's not a British one. There is no legal requirement for British multi-level marketing companies to provide income disclosures, only in the USA. But I have one. I mean, you're going to get a good idea. But the reason that I am starting with Jade is because it appears on this income disclosure statement that there are nobody beneath Jade. And I'm going to explain why, right? There is a Garnet above Jade, and then you're the qualified distributor. But we're going to talk about Jade, right? Because to become Jade, you will need 150 personal qualifying points. You'll need that minimum every month in order to keep that rank. Not only that, so you're dropping because obviously you need the 150. So think about it like this way, for example. You're £181 because you've got to buy this stuff anyway. No one's buying it because this is a pyramid scheme. It's a pyramid scheme where no one's buying this stuff. You're buying it yourself. You need £181 for 100 points. And that's your Triangle of Wellness. That's what's going to get pushed on you, right? Because you've got to be a product of the product. You've got to show everyone how amazing it is, right? But you've also got to get another 50. So you think to yourself, well, what else can I get for that? Well, for £55, you can buy the core meal replacement. That will get you another 25 points. You want something different because you don't want the same thing again, unless you do just want to stock on. Oh, screw it. I don't even like this stuff anyway. Buy another one. What you could also get is a protein shake, essentially, vanilla flavour. That will set you back £49, but you'll get another 25 points for that, right? So you'll have your 150 points, and it's products that essentially you can take, you know, throughout the month. But you will be dropping £285 yourself in that month to make Jade. To make that Jade, right? You will be dropping £285 yourself because that has to be in personal points. That has to be in personal points. And no one outside the company is buying this. Unless you can convince somebody in your network to buy one of those products, one of those utterly ridiculously priced products, unless you can manipulate somebody who is maybe disabled, maybe mentally disabled, because nobody who is right-minded, nobody with an IQ that could be considered neurologically ideal is going to buy this stuff off you. You have to buy it yourself. So you will be dropping 200 if you decide to, unless you're going to stockhold and go for the cheapest, which is a tiny bit cheaper, if that, but you're 200, let's say 200 odd pounds, you're going to be dropping that month on month to retain that jade. And not only are you going to be dropping that month on month to retain that jade, which is the beginning of the compensation, the income disclosure plan, right? Because the only one before that is garnet, and you've still got to drop £181 to retain that, right? Which is going to get you nowhere, because they're not building underneath you unless you're trying, are they? Because that's what this is all about. Because I'm going to come to the tree, and I'm going to come to how grotesque that tree is in a bit. So yeah, 200. Can you afford that? Can you afford that? Because this is all based on your future, isn't it? You've got to drop this 200 odd pounds a month, and you're going to get built underneath. You're going to, because this is the nature of the pyramid scheme, right? You're going to be built underneath. No one's building under people who aren't putting in the effort, right? And not only that, but you've got to then convince all the people that you bring into this are also doing the same thing. So anyone struggling, how are you going to afford this? How is anybody who is, if you can't sell the products from the other companies that you're coming from, how are you going to sell this, right? Because, I mean, even if you could sell it, you know, you want to, should we see what their example is for the commission? The absolute joke, right, of the commission that you're going to get. The joke of the commission that you're going to get. Because this is what just proves it's a pyramid scheme, because you can't actually earn. You can't actually earn, right? You have to sell it to too many people. It's an impossible amount of people. And this is the example that they give you. This gentleman, and I will put a link to his whole video, he gives us an example here, right? 750 QV, right? You'll get for that. Do you know how much you'll get for that? £70. To 2,500. You'll get £350. 5,000. You'll get £840. That sounds good, doesn't it? He even says on the video, see how lucrative this is? Right, would you want to know what those points actually look like? Right, do you want to know what those points actually look like in terms of money and in terms of what the actual expectation is of you to earn to make that, say, £70? We're going to go. Say you sell, so you would need to sell, say, 7 triangles of wellness. 7 triangles of wellness is going to get you £1,267, right? But that's still, the triangle of wellness is still not enough. You're also going to need to sell or consume yourself or stockhold, because that's what this will be. You will need to stockhold 2 Profit 20s, right? That will be an additional £98, and that will complete your 750 points. So you sell £1,365 worth of products. You make £70. You make £70 from that. Do you know what your commission was? 5.1%. Make your 5.1% commission, right? And he doesn't explain what commission you make from any other sales. So I'm going to assume it's going to be sod, right? Because, and even if you made 5% on all the other stuff, which it isn't, you may as well just make nothing. Well, what's 5%? What's 5%? This is an impossible scenario, though. You know that this is an impossible scenario because you know that you're not even selling one of any of those products to anybody outside of this company but yourself. You know you're not. So it's an impossible scenario. 2,500 points. That's 25 25 triangles of wellness to get that. It's £4,525 for that, right? You make £350. Gosh, that's 7.7% commission. 7.7% instant commission. Your previous company, FM World's a bit better than that, isn't it? Globe, a bit better than that, isn't it? Urban Retreat's a bit better than that, isn't it? And those companies are all shit shows too. So you're going from shit show to utter swamp, utter cesspit of shit here. There is no bigger cesspit of shit. There isn't one. You're in it. You're joining it now. It's Kyani. It's 5,000 points. 5,000 points. That's 50 Triangle of Wellnesses. 50. You sell 50 Triangle of Wellnesses at £181. You make £840 for that. Do you know how much you've got to sell in that? £9,050 worth. £9,050 worth, and you make £840. It's a 9.3% commission, not even 10% commission. 9.3%. Think that's good? A good commission to make? No, because all of those are impossible situations. Nobody's selling even one of those. You know you're not. But again, if you're jumping into this, you haven't been sold it off that, have you? Nobody is selling you this off. You can make an extra, like all the other ones, you can make an extra £50 a month. Nobody's selling you off this. They're selling you this as you're gonna get a car. That we're gonna build underneath you, and you're gonna get a car. You're gonna get a car out of this, because we're all gonna build underneath you. You don't have to worry about recruiting anymore. This is for your future. All these investments, they're for your future. It's gonna be amazing. Your amazing future. Your amazing future that comes after you have dropped over £200 a month for God knows how many months, right? 200 odd pounds. Where are you getting that money from? Where is that money coming from? Because no one's building underneath you unless you're dropping. Unless you're dropping that. Unless you're in. Qualified distributor's not good enough. Garnet's not good enough, right? It doesn't even show up on the income disclosure, which I'm going to come to. Ain't good enough. You got to be minimum jade. You've got to be dropping, and you got to be dropping. And that's not even the best of it, because all the people that they've put underneath you in good faith, they've got to be dropping too. They've got to be dropping the same amount. Do you know how much they've got to be dropping your team for you to make jade? Might you want me to tell you? At least 13 people in your team. You've got to convince the 13 people that have been built underneath you by yourself or others have got to be dropping that £285. Or 20 have got to be dropping £181. But preferably, because they've all got to make jade too, or you're not going to build underneath them and they're not going to build underneath you, and so on. The pyramid goes on. But you've got to convince them to drop that too. So while you're dropping this and seeing no return yet, because I'm going to come to the income disclosure, so while you're dropping this and you're probably a bit closer to them but nowhere near, they've got to be dropping it too. Are you comfortable with that? Are you comfortable with bringing people in who the expectation is to pay out so much money, and this is just products that they need to consume themselves, right? And no one's buying it off them. You know no one's buying it off them. You know you would never buy that off somebody. You know none of your friends and family are ever going to buy that off you, and then none of their friends and family are buying it off them. So that's coming out of their own pocket, right? This is horrendous. Who has that money? But they've got to desperately, a frenzy, isn't it? They've got to come in and drop that, because it's for their future, because they're not going to get built underneath otherwise, are they? So what is it? What is it that's going to convince? How are you going to convince people to drop that money? Well, it's quite simple. Because this structure, let's call it, is, people said to me, it's a binary structure. No, it ain't. It's not a binary structure, and it's not the standard structure. It's kind of a grotesque child, a kind of Frankenstein child of the two systems in one, and completely engineered for the leaders to be able to blackmail their downlines into dropping as much money as they can possibly gather together or scrape together or dump on the credit card, which is going to be where it mostly comes from. Because those credit cards, you're going to have to keep dropping that on the hope that eventually, before my credit card runs out, I'm going to start earning. And this is how they do it. So, and I know there's a lot of big leaders coming into this. So you've got your big leader coming from another company, right, to bring in thousands with them. And each person that is beneath this leader, that goes along with this leader, right, or any leader, you recruit somebody. The new recruit or the recruit that's coming with you will go into a holding tank for 72 hours, right? Holding tank. How inhumane is that? We're going to come to that. Going to go into a holding tank for 72 hours. The leader can decide whether to put them directly underneath themselves, the first generation, or they can put them under whoever they like. Whoever they like, put them under anybody that they like. So all of the favourites, all the best recruits, right, are going to go directly under the leader, right? Their ones that they think are good recruits are going to go underneath them, right? And it's going to go down. And the 99% of poor, naive souls that are being dragged into this, being told how amazing this is going to be and how they're going to be built underneath, are going to be put in this mass at the bottom, right? Where there's no way there will be enough spillover to give everybody a decent amount for them to earn. And they're going to be there languishing, waiting, and being told that they're not going to get built under unless they put in, unless they make the effort. If you don't make the effort, you don't sell or, as we know, buy yourself. You don't stockhold as much as you can possibly put on your credit card every single month. You ain't getting built under. And this is your future. This is your future. It will pay off in the end. You've just got to prove your worth. You've got to prove your worth. And this is how they've engineered this. Because all these mass, they want to get up there. They want to get. You're not getting up there. The favourites go up here. The favourites go up here. So they've got the leaders that come, and they will be able to come into this company, Kyani, bring this swathe of thousands with them, and they will carefully dot every single person into this entire grotesque mess of a tree wherever they see fit, right? Wherever they feel like it. So if you're not one of the favourites, you're going down the bottom. And you're going to be blackmailed into buying as much as you can possibly afford every month, because it will be over that amount, because everyone's got to pay that minimum amount. So if everyone's paying that minimum amount, you've got to pay more in order to be worthy of being built under, haven't you? Not going to happen. I've got the income disclosure statement. Right, and let's go on to that, because you want to get a good idea of what it looks like for you and how soon can you make rank? How soon? The USA Income Disclosure Statement is going to give us a fantastic idea of this, and this might open your eyes more than anything. So, the income disclosure. Income disclosure statements are not a legal requirement in the United Kingdom, but luckily they are in the United States, so I have one. Now, I'm not going to say that this is going to be 100% accurate, because this is dollars, right? And this applies to over there, and they may have different products. But you're going to get an idea. You're going to get a good idea how this is going to go, because the structures are the same. The trees they're the same, and the techniques to get you in are going to be the same. So 50%, 50.9% of the company, of the reps in the company are, so it says, on Jade level, right? 50%, 50.9% on Jade level, right? That's going to be where you should be aspiring to be, because you don't count. You're a nobody unless you're at Jade level, right? You're not getting built under unless you're at Jade level, right? You're pointless. You're no good to anyone. No good. You're pointless. You might as well just go home, right? We move up. So how much? Now remember, you've been dropping to be at jade level, right, you've got to be dropping £285 a month, haven't you? To be at jade level. That's your personal, unless you can find somebody to buy that off you, which ain't going to happen. So you've got to drop that yourself. You're a product of the product anyway, so you might as well just take it yourself. You've got to drop that. Do you know how much median, the difference between median and average, explained quite quickly. Average is taking all of the incomes, putting them all together in one and dividing it between all the reps and saying the average is, in the example of this, it's £233. That isn't going to be more likely. The best way to calculate it is the median. The median is more like you take the profits of all the reps, and the median is a kind of one in the middle. So for this, it's $192, right? Which means that all the ones kind of up to here would go up to the kind of highest, which is 1,443, and coming down the other end is going to go down to $8. So if you're not lucky and you're kind of, you know, you're going to make off your team, if they're crappy and you're not putting enough pressure on them, you're not putting enough pressure on your team, you might only make on $8, right? And this is for people in America. What that looks like in UK money, the median amount, if you're doing all right, you will make £139. So you're losing every month. Made it to jade level. Remember, you've had to put in just to get to jade level without earning anything. This is when you're doing all right at jade level. You're still losing, right? You're still losing £146 a month. If you dropping that, you're losing money already, even at jade level. But of course, you keep going at jade level, and you keep making those losses because slowly but surely you're putting it in, and that is going to be the minimum amount you'll lose it, and that's just to keep jade level with what you're dropping on the products, right? In order to impress that lot up there, and in order to get them to keep putting people underneath you, unless you can recruit your own people, which is probably going to be the least likely thing in the world, because you're just a random person trying to tell people that they can sell vitamins and minerals for the most ridiculous prices, joke prices, Fantasyland prices that you're never going to convert. You can't even say you make the extra £50 one. Who wants to make extra money this Christmas? That you can't even say that because the commissions are too rubbish. They're just too rubbish. And they bamboozle people. Most people don't even understand them anyway. This is all about pyramid scheme building, right? So you're already minimum losing £146 a month at jade level, right? But we don't want to stay at jade level. We're investing all this money because we want to get further up. Problem is, just to achieve jade level, just to achieve jade level, it can take up to 26 months. Up to over a year, you're dropping that money over a year before they build you underneath you enough for you to actually make jade, right? But we don't want to stay at jade. We want to get to pearl and beyond. We want to get to ruby, because when you get to ruby, you get a car. This is what they're all saying, isn't it? The reps, we're going to get a car. We're going to be built underneath. We're going to get a car, right? We'll see. 37 months. Take you 37 months, right, to get to pearl level. Right, 37 months of dropping that money. When you're at pearl level, you're making £455. Remember, this isn't net profit. This isn't taking all your costs and this is what profit you're making. No, this is with none of your costs taken into account. So this is not taking into account all of the hundreds that you've dropped just to get here. You know, all the hundreds. It will total the thousands in the end, the amount that you'll end up having to drop, right? But for that, eventually, when you eventually land at pearl and you've impressed them enough, you'll have to put in more than the 150 points to impress them, because everyone's putting in that. You'll have to put more than that. But this is minimum. If they're just impressed with your 150, you know, that great. They won't be. But when you do eventually get to that pearl, after 37 months of God knows what you will go through. God knows what you will go through. The things that you will do without. The things that your kids will do without. Right? The things that you will do without. The toxic environment that you will be in. The toxic cutthroat environment. what it will turn you into, trying to get there, you will get back, right, £331. £331, right, which will nowhere near. How many months will you have to be getting that to just break even on what you've already accumulated in debt, right? How many months? God knows how many months. Over a year probably, and you still won't even be breaking even, right? You'll be in this literally years before you see any profit. Do you understand what I'm saying? Years you will be in this company. If you stay that long, you won't stay that long. Nobody will stay that long. Because even if you keep staying that long, right, unless you're the favourite, you're not getting up there. And if you're not up there already in these months, if they haven't put you underneath them now, it's already saturated. If you're in the 50%, it's already saturated because nobody new is coming in. Nobody new is coming into this shit show. Nobody is. So you're not recruiting anyone. Anyone who do gets recruited, there's no guarantees they'll be put underneath you, right? So your best bet will be to cut your options, and you'll have lost. If you get out early after a couple of months, you know, hopefully you keep that into the hundreds, right? If you stay in there, it will be into the thousands. Your losses will be. They will be into the thousands, right? So yeah, at Pearl level, you will £331, and remember you've got to take your 285 out of that. So it's £46. £46 profit. Well, it won't be profit because of all the debt you've accumulated, as I said. But you'll see £46 out of that. You make it to Pearl level. Is that worth 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? Is that worth never even making eye contact with your kids anymore? Never speaking to them? Mummy's working. Worth it? Wouldn't be to me. That'd be ridiculous. Something of a joke to me. Does that sound reasonable to you? I'm telling you this. I'm laying out in layman's terms. This is the literal income disclosure statement that I am now telling you. This is what's already happened in the USA, right? Already happened. This will be exactly the same here, right? It was exactly the same. I've already you know that no one's buying those products off you. You know you have to buy those products for yourself, right? Come down to Sapphire. Sapphire's a bit better, isn't it? Sapphire, £1,067 at Sapphire. Of course, you take your 285 out of it for your minimum to achieve 150, or minimum to achieve 150. Like 700 odd pounds, £780. It's not worth it. You work 15 hours a week. You work 15 hours a week. You work, a few hours in the morning of the week when your kids are at school. You doing that? Be over after a few hours a day. You know, you're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The stress levels through the absolute roof for that, because you're at Sapphire now, but it's gambler mentality. If I've got this far, right? I've got this far. I've got to keep going. It's 39 months it'll take. Up to 39 months this could take for you. Next one. Ruby level. Ruby, that's when you can get a car, can't you, at Ruby level? That's what you want. That's what you're after. That's what you're saying, isn't it? They're going to build underneath you and get you a car. So, you get yourself into Ruby level. You'll be in the 5.5%. Right, you'll be in the 5.5% of this, right? Can you scrape your way into the 5.5% of the entire company? You're gonna get in the 5.5%. Because remember, if you've entered in the 50%, if you've entered in the lower echelons, you're not going to ever be able to get up there. It's impossible. You can't. You cannot convince that many people. You know you can't. If you can't even recruit one person or two people yourself once you've joined this company, you think others can do that for you? Do you think they're going to place them under you? The only way they're going to get placed under you is if you're spending God knows how much. How much are you going to have to drop every month? Your credit cards. I hope that you have good credit, because you will need to take out credit cards. And then you won't have good credit afterwards because you will not be able to pay them off. So it's ruin your credit, right? Get to that. And remember, I've adjusted this for pounds. This was in dollars. £2,420. of course, you take your 285 off that. There you go, you've made it, haven't you? And you've got your car payments. Now, remember, it's 43 months. 43 months to get there. All that time, pretty much, the majority of that time, you will have accumulated debt into the thousands. Right? To get there. So that 2,490 or 2,200 odd, after you take your product of the product 280 drop, minimum 280 drop, you will be paying more than that. You will be buying more than that in products, and you will be stock holding those products, because there's no way anyone that you will only be a favourite. You will only get billed that you have not got into 5.5% of this company from dropping the minimum from your 150 points. You need to give them more points than that. No one's building underneath you. You're getting nobody from just that 150 points, because that's the minimum. You'll have to drop, I'd say you'd have to drop about I think the expectation will be for you to drop about 500 if you really want to get up there. And who has that money? So you'll languish. You won't ever get to that car. Who's building underneath you? You've got to show your worth if you want them to build underneath you. That car, they have got a car. Finally get your car. It's just a lease car. It's all in your name, and it will be based on you retaining that rank, right? So the money that you're dropping to keep that rank will, as we've said, minimum 280. Get any car younger than 6 years old and must be white, and they're going to give you £525 towards that payment. You could have bought a car. You could have bought this car for the money you wasted trying to get. You could have outright, you could have a bloody good car, outright, any colour you like, owned outright for the money you've dropped to get here. Outright, you could own your own. The money you've dropped to get here. Just think the credit cards that you took out to pay for this, to achieve this level, to get this car, right? To drop that money that upline is going to expect every single month. You'd have your own car. You'd have your own car. You wouldn't need to. You wouldn't need to get there. Yeah, credit payment, have a lease payment. You none of this shit show. None of this toxic environment, right? But you know the worst bit, right? The worst bit about you getting here will be, it won't be you anymore. If you do manage to scrape your way into this 5% and beyond, which is never gonna happen. Never gonna happen, right? But if it does, do you know what will happen to you? What will happen to you is what has happened to those above you, and it's what's happened to the leaders who have brought you into this. You will not be you anymore. You will be a version of you. You will be an inhumane version of yourself. Because to do this, to do this to people, to bring people into something like this, knowing that you will gain massive amounts off their misery and suffering, knowing that their kids will go without for you, knowing that it's the 99%. The 99% was always the 99%. Knowing that 99% will be struggling month on month, right? For you to earn money that you don't have a right to earn. You must lose your humanity to get here. And do you want to do that? Because they only do that because they've lost their humanity, and then they dehumanise everyone beneath them. The only people they don't dehumanise are those closest to them. Everybody else gets dehumanised. You are no longer a mum. You're no longer a daughter, a sister with feelings and thoughts and a life. You are a resource. You are a thing to be brought in and to be used and to be taken from. That's what you are. And it goes all the way up to the top of the company, right? The people who live in these environments, the people who earn from these environments, they've lost their humanity. They lost it a long time ago, right? And you are not, they dehumanise you, because to hurt people like this, you cannot see them as human beings anymore. right? To keep this perpetuated. Well, you recruit. When you know that you run out of people, you know it's impossible. And somewhere along the lines, people are going to lose money. And people are going to be bullied, and people are going to be made to feel like failures and made to feel ashamed of themselves. You know that it always ends there. Even if it's a tiny amount of people, they sleep at night knowing that, right? Because this always ends somewhere. And where it ends, the losses. And it ends in the 99%, right? So to be able to do that to that many people, you have dehumanized those people. They are no longer people. You are no longer a person. You're a, hey babes, hey lovely, aren't you so amazing? You're going to smash this. The same nonsense crap that they churn out to every one of you that has been dehumanized. The same crap. It's ingenuous crap, and that's exactly what it is. And do you know what? Listen, I have myself been dehumanized by people in these companies. I have myself been used, and I've never been in multi-level marketing, but I was sent products from somebody, from an owner and their underling in a company who saw my videos on Globe, formerly Business Bombshells. They saw those videos and they saw me as a thing. They didn't see me as a human. And it's because they have become inhumane. They'd become inhumane, that they saw me as a thing to be used and to be... And it doesn't matter how kind you are to these people. They will lie and manipulate. That's all they know, because it's the world that they've been living in. Everybody at this level lives in this world of bullshit. It's a world of lies, manipulation and bullshit, and that's all you can get from them. They are incapable of any genuine thought for the people that they dehumanize. You know, can you love a rock? No. You can, oh, this is nice. Where can I put this? You're seen as a thing. You're not seen as a human. And as a consequence, I was dehumanized, treated as a thing to be used and to be... I wasn't a person with thoughts and feelings, right? So I know what that feels like. And to me, I react the same as you will react. You will react by lashing out. You will lash out. You will lash out at the wrong people. You will lash out at your friends and family because they don't support you, because that's what the people who have dehumanized you have drummed into you. That they're the problem, not the people who have dehumanized you and that are using and abusing you. The people who really love you, that they're the problem because they're not supporting you and they're not buying the products. They don't want to be recruited by you. You will be taught not to see people as humans anymore. They want to dehumanize it. They want you to become inhumane, because if you become inhumane, you can do what they do. And it's hard to make somebody inhumane. And the people who retain their humanity are the people that get hurt so badly in this industry, right? You will trust because you're trustworthy. I trusted because I was trustworthy. I gave back kindness where I was given manipulation. And I've chosen to see it for what it is. I'm not going to let this change me. I've lashed out the same as you lash out. Because that you don't even understand how you're feeling at the time, but you know when you're being manipulated. And even if you don't know that on a conscious level, you feel it inside and you will lash out accordingly. You may lash out and it will cloud your judgment. It will cloud your judgment as it clouded my judgment about lots of things. But you know what? You need to take a step back. You need to say, these people lost their humanity a long, long time ago. They forgive them, because they are the ultimate victims here. Because when you lose your humanity, what do you have? No amount of money in the world for these leaders or these owners or anyone else is worth it when they're in that state in their minds, when they become inhumane. And that's what you will become if you get into that. If you can get to the level where you can get yourself a car, you've lost more than a car can ever give you back. You've lost in yourself. You're leaving these companies to join this company. You can't make it work in those companies. You certainly cannot make it work in Kyani. You cannot make it work in this company. It's impossible because it's a pyramid scheme. So even if you don't lose, you will only not lose from others losing. Others will have to lose in order for you to gain, right? Is that going to sit all right with you? Because it doesn't. Anyone with a conscience, this does not sit right with anyone with a conscience, right? It doesn't. You're leaving these companies. This is network marketing. Toxic environment where good people are destroyed, become inhumane, or get hurt. And they're your option. And I say happy to say, but people who come to our group, have been hurt. And they think that's a bad thing. They come in and they're there and they're, oh, I've been hurt, you know, I've been this, I was treated badly. But what they don't realise is that they're the lucky ones, because it didn't change them. It hurt them and it damaged them emotionally in many ways, but it didn't make them inhumane, right? And I don't want it to make you inhumane either. Leave all this crap. Leave this shit. You are better than this. You are so much better than this. You are so much better than this. Listen, I have a support group. We are in there to support you. Anyone coming up network marketing, there is a community for you, right? You don't have to pay to be in it. You don't have to pretend. You don't have to lie. You don't have to pretend you're happy when you are in utter despair, right? You can come in there and tell us all that you're in utter despair, that you've been hurt, you've been damaged. You can tell us all what they did to you, and we will support you, right? You stay in this crap. There are your options. Become inhumane or get badly hurt by this. That's the end of my video. And that is Kyani. That is Kyani in a nutshell. That is it in a nutshell. There are more videos that I would like to make about Kyani. Many more videos, because there is so much more to this, right? There is so much more to this. But for now, there's your information. You choose to join this company, having all that information. I don't know what to say to you. I don't know what to say to you. You are always welcome in our group. Even if you join, even if you become, everyone can become a bad person when they've been brainwashed. You're not a bad person. I don't believe you're a bad person. I don't believe anyone who gets involved with these companies are bad people. And you deserve so much more. And that's the end of my video. Till next time.